You might be one of the smartest people in the room, but still, you feel like a fraud. That feeling that everyone else seems to have it all figured out, while you're just one step away from being exposed. That's imposter syndrome, and it's more common than you think. But what if there's more to it, something deeply rooted in our biology, or even our fears about success? In this video, we're diving deep into the mysteries of imposter syndrome. From the evolutionary reasons behind self-doubt, to the fear of success that holds even the greatest achievers back, and why the more you know, the more you feel like a fraud. Stick with us as we unmask the true causes of imposter syndrome and find out how to overcome these hidden fears. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more explorations into the human mind and its mysteries. The evolutionary perspective: is imposter syndrome a survival mechanism? Let's start with the question: what if imposter syndrome isn't actually a flaw, but a survival mechanism? Throughout human history, survival often depended on the ability to fit in, cooperate, and learn from others. Humility and caution were essential traits that allowed early humans to avoid making costly mistakes, especially in social situations. Being overly confident could lead to dangerous decisions, like underestimating a threat or overstepping boundaries in a community. Imposter syndrome could be the modern reflection of this ancient instinct, where our self-doubt keeps us grounded, helping us blend in and learn from others rather than asserting dominance too soon. In prehistoric times, standing out too much could mean isolation from the group, a fatal mistake in a world filled with predators. Our brains might still carry these social survival instincts, even if the threats we face today are no longer life or death situations. This evolutionary hangover may explain why so many people, even those who are high achievers, feel like they need to downplay their abilities. It's almost as if our brains are trying to keep us safe by making sure we don't become too much or attract unwanted attention. This perspective can help us reframe imposter syndrome not as a flaw but as a protective mechanism that's perhaps outdated for our current way of life. Could our feelings of fraudulence be our brain's misguided attempt to keep us safe? If we understand this, it might help us make peace with these feelings rather than letting them control us. Imposter syndrome and the fear of success. Moving on to another powerful and often overlooked perspective: the fear of success. When we talk about imposter syndrome, most people assume it's just about feeling inadequate, but it's also closely linked to our fears about what happens when we succeed. Think about it. What if reaching your goals meant more responsibility, higher expectations, or even a drastic change in your relationships? Many people are afraid of what success might bring, not because they doubt their ability to achieve it, but because they're unsure if they want the life that comes with it. What if success means being exposed to more criticism, or becoming someone others rely on constantly? The pressure to maintain that level of success can make people question whether they truly belong, or if they're capable of living up to the expectations that success will bring. Consider famous actors, authors, or entrepreneurs who reached great heights but still express doubts about whether they deserve their accolades. They may fear that the pedestal they've been placed on will only make their inevitable fall that much harder. This fear can create an internal battle where part of them strives for greatness, while another part sabotages their efforts to protect them from the discomfort that might come with success. Could it be that imposter syndrome is sometimes our way of keeping ourselves in the comfort zone, a place where we're not forced to confront the pressures that come with achieving our dreams? Understanding this link between imposter syndrome and the fear of success can help us be more compassionate with ourselves. It reminds us that these feelings might not be about a lack of capability, but about a natural human response to change and uncertainty. Why knowledge fuels self-doubt? Now, let's talk about a paradox that might surprise you. The more you know, the more you feel like a fraud. This is known as the paradox of expertise. As we gain knowledge in a field, our awareness of what we don't know also increases. Suddenly, we become keenly aware of all the complexities and nuances that we haven't mastered yet. The more we learn, the more we realize how much there is left to learn. This awareness often makes us feel less capable, not more. This phenomenon is related to something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Inexperienced people tend to overestimate their abilities because they're unaware of how much they don't know. Meanwhile, those with more expertise tend to underestimate themselves because they have a clearer understanding of the limits of their knowledge. The more we understand a subject, the more we see the gaps in our understanding, which fuels self-doubt. Imagine a beginner pianist, excited about mastering a simple piece. They may feel confident because they don't yet realize the vast world of technique, musical theory, and interpretation that lies ahead. Contrast that with a professional pianist who is fully aware of the complexities involved in perfecting every note, every phrasing. It's the expert who might feel like an imposter, not the beginner. This paradox explains why some of the most competent, high-achieving people are often the ones struggling with imposter syndrome. They see the big picture, the complexity, and the imperfections in their work, and that awareness creates doubt. Meanwhile, those who are just starting out might not even realize the heights they have yet to climb. If you're feeling like an imposter, it might actually be a sign that you are aware, insightful, and knowledgeable. It's a sign that you're capable of seeing the bigger picture, rather than a reflection of your inadequacy. The challenge lies in accepting that growth always means facing what we don't yet know, and that's a sign of true expertise. Imposter syndrome isn't just a quirk of modern life. It's a complex phenomenon that touches on our evolutionary history, our fears about success, and the nature of learning and expertise. From the ancient instincts that kept us humble for survival, to the fear that achieving our goals will bring uncomfortable changes, to the knowledge paradox that makes us see our own gaps, imposter syndrome is a multifaceted challenge that many of us face. But understanding these layers can help us begin to challenge those feelings of fraudulence. Recognizing that these doubts are rooted in our biology and in our pursuit of mastery can help us see them for what they are, not an indication that we're not good enough, but a sign that we're evolving, growing, and stepping into new territory. What do you think? Have you experienced these forms of imposter syndrome? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration into the hidden causes of imposter syndrome, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more dives into the mysteries of the human mind. Together, let's uncover what makes us who we are, beyond the shadows of doubt.